Hey everybody, we're in a different spot of the house today. I am painting my little room that I'm normally in. How is everybody? This is actual sunlighting upon my face. I'm so glad I could point out every wrinkle. It's the beauty about getting old. How is everybody? How was everybody's weekend? Good day, Tracy. Let's see. Oh, Kara, Queen Ebony, hello. How are y'all? So do y'all, this camera's weird. So y'all remember a while back when I was telling you when I took hey Nancy, hey Amy J. Y'all remember when I was telling you that I took a little break so we could do some remodeling? Let me just show y'all that is the remodeled living room. Okay, back to the show. I just wanted to show y'all that. How are y'all? Hello. So can y'all hear me pretty good? My little man is down for a nap and I'm in a different part of the house, so I can't be as loud. So hopefully y'all can hear me pretty good. Can y'all put a 1 in the chat if y'all can hear me pretty good? I just want to make sure. Okay. Yeah, I was really super happy with it. Thank you. Hey Julian, welcome baby. Okay, so all weekend I have been, I dove back in. Okay, good. I dove back into the Susan Powell case. And let me just say this. I completely forgot. I mean, you remember highlights, but there's so much happened. There's so much wrong. And there are so many missed opportunities. It's just disgusting. We're going to, and I will say, Stephanie Harlow did a good job. She had 3 parts. I will say, though, between hers and some of the other I'm not saying her information's wrong. In fact, I'm saying I don't know. There's contrary to both sides. The gist are the same, though. Some things just a little tweaked. But for the most part, everything is pretty accurate. And she does a really nice job with anything in general. She's amazing for true crime. It's like I'm not centered or something. I don't know. I'll be glad when I finish my little room. I've been painting it. I didn't have a chance. Whatever. I'm just going to leave it. Okay. Let's hop in to this Susan Powell. That sun is getting brighter on my face. Let's see. Let's just hop into it. The case absolutely haunts me. It is so awful. And those poor boys knew everything happened. They trusted their father who viciously murdered them. And mind you, and I believe that they saw their own mother get killed. So they had to already live with that. And with, which we'll get to that. Some of y'all did it. You started. Yes, she did a really good job with everything. So let's see. Let's hop in. Okay. I'm just going to give, hey Sandra, hey baby. And the Cold podcast, which I think you can get it with Amazon, they cover, and y'all are seeing this. Okay, good. So they cover this case on podcast, so it's audio, but they did a good job. So let's see. I'm just going to read through some of this so we can get an idea. Let's see. Prelude. Susan Powell was a wife, a mother, a working professional, and a faithful Latter-day Saint. She was also a victim of just what crime? No one can say with certainty. Susan Powell vanished December 7th, 2009. On the same day, her husband had their 2 young boys, ages 2 and 4, out for an impromptu camping trip in a blizzard in the Utah desert. Her body was never located. Police suspected Susan's husband, Joshua Powell, murdered Suzanne from the very first day of her disappearance, yet they never arrested Josh. Prosecutors also never filed criminal charges against him. Now, there's no, oh, heck, I didn't want them to, oh, this is jumping the gun. Well, I guess it's already, y'all gonna find out anyways. So, and I will say this too, and there's so much in here. I'm just going to try to give y'all little nuggets as we go. There's no way I'll be able to cover everything. Like, it's way too much. Deputies, detectives, and federal agents pursued Josh for more than 2 years, believing that he had the benefit of time. Then on February 5th, 2012, Josh killed himself and his boys, Charlie and Braden, by setting a fire to the house he rented in Graham, Washington. And this is what the house looked like. Okay, the deaths of the boys shocked Susan Powell's family, friends, and many other people who followed the unfolding of the news reports. Their deaths also triggered public release of court documents, social worker reports, and even psychological evaluation of Josh from the state agency in Washington. So okay, let's see. Let's go ahead. I'm going to jump into this other one I have. Well, let's see. Let's just do this. Well, hold on. Let's just do this. That way y'all can keep up with me. Okay. So, yeah, let's look at this a little bit. I just want to give y'all a little context to the psycho that Josh Powell was. Josh Powell struggled to connect with girls. He chased a lot of romantic interest as a young man, but met with repeated rejection. He had a habit of unnerving the women he pursued. And what they mean by that is like, he was very grandiose. He was very narcissistic. And when he would speak about his significant other, it wasn't for them or that these attributes that they had stood on their own. It was only how those attributes that his partner had could benefit him. It was never solely about them. And he's a wackadoo, 1,010%, a complete and total wackadoo. Seriously, complete wackadoo. And you're going to see his father, his brother, and his sister are also wackadoos, completely nutcases. Josh had only 2 serious relationships in his adult life. His marriage to Susan Cox and his relationship with a young woman named Catherine. Now, I do want to read some of what Catherine has to say because, you know, this when things started getting a little, you know, let's see. Those 2 relationships had striking similarities. Catherine and Susan were each 19 when they started dating Josh. Both were active members in the Church of Latter-day Saints and met Josh at church-related events. Catherine's relationship with Josh differed from Susan in one critical way. She escaped. Imagine Catherine's surprise. Okay, well, let's see this. Let me scroll down. I want to get, okay, the forgotten ex. I became aware of Catherine while reading a report prepared by Dr. James Manley, a forensic psychiatrist at Tacoma, Washington. He interviewed Josh in late 2011 as part of an evaluation of Josh's parenting capacity. At the time, Josh was the sole suspect in the disappearance and presumed murder of Susan. He'd lost custody of his sons after police served a search warrant at the home he shared with his father, Steve Powell, in South Hill, Washington. The investigators had located a large cache of voyeur videos created by Steve, calling into question the environment inside the Powell home. Okay, let's see. Let me see. I'm trying to, how do I want to do this? I thought this was going to tell her side of it. Let's see. I'll tell you what, let's do this. I want to do this. I want to move on to his relationship with his father. Guys, buckle up for this. So we're going to fast forward to their marriage. His father's name is Steve. Hold on, let me check in with y'all really quick before I keep going. Let's see. Y'all are okay. Y'all are totally okay. Let's see. Where did I go? Where did who go? What happened? Hey, Jason. Oh, thank you so much. Thank y'all. Hey, Haley. Hey, y'all. Hey, y'all. Boy, I sound like a classic Southern hick right there, didn't I? Hey, y'all. The Cold podcast is free on Spotify. Very cool. I didn't know that. Let's see. Got back again. Let's see. And the father-in-law was I know, Suzanne, I'm just about to talk about what a freaking creeper he was. The case irks the shit out of me. Me too. Hey, mama's baby. Thank you. Thank you. Thank y'all. Oh, let's see. Hey, Morgan. Thank you, Shar. Thank you. Well, I'm getting so many compliments. I tell y'all what, honest to God, I'm feeling like crap. I'm completely trying to get off of the 5-hour energies and all the energy crap that I take. So I really could just be like this for the next 2 hours, but I'm trying to like pull it together. I'm telling you, I should have never started drinking them damn red lines and 5-hour energies like that. I feel like I'm going to kill over. I'm so stinking tired. It's just not worth it, y'all. Okay. Steve is Josh's father. Steve is extremely crazy, and he has the most unhealthy infatuation with Suzanne. Craig Powell lived much of his life with a camcorder in front of his face. He was a prolific, filing boxes with VHS and high 8 video cassette. Many of these recordings were mundane, documenting birthdays, family trips, and conversations with relatives. And my cat's fixing to come say hi, probably here in a second. Let's see. Others who were outright disturbing. Steve's lens often followed strangers in parking lots. He would zoom in on their bodies of women without their knowledge and covering up in this minivan. Like he is a complete creeper. Complete creeper. What, you can come up here? Let's see. Steve's oldest son, Josh Powell, married Susan Cox, April of 2001. Steve attended the wedding events in both Oregon and Washington with his camcorder. Let me see. Let me see if I could play this. We'll just play this for a second.
Glad you could come. Oh, you don't want to be on record here? Okay, let's see the ring. Let's see that ring. Hold your hand up, please. Okay, and this ring.
And my nails aren't done things.
See the ring.
Now, I do want to say this too. This ring is a ring that she purchased with her store credit under the pretenses that it was a ring for Josh's mother. So, I mean, and you will see a lot of this. Josh did not make money. He would, he would squander every bit of money he ever had, the family ever had. She was the breadwinner. At one point in their marriage, she would take her bicycle. She would get the kids ready in the mornings. And she would get on her bicycle, drive her bicycle to work when he couldn't take her to work. They shared one vehicle. She was not allowed to drive to work. Josh was insane. When Josh first brought her home, I didn't think much of her, Steve later wrote in his journal. Steve being Josh's father, I didn't think she was even that pretty or anything. Now I can't take my eyes off of her. In 2002, Josh and Suzanne Powell briefly moved into Steve's home in South Hill, Washington. The proximity inflamed his infatuation, stoking the embers into outright obsession. He began following Susan around the house with camera in hand. He also followed her to work and everywhere else, filming her without her knowledge. When Josh graduated from University in Washington, Tacoma Business School last year, Steve filmed the entire, Steve filmed the entire convocation. Did I say that right? Convocation. His attention frequently turned to Susan. Steve's Powell's journal revealed even more troubling behaviors. He stole Susan's soiled underwear from laundry baskets, replacing them with pilfered pieces with duplicates. Eventually, she took note and began noting the arrangement in her laundry hamper and found that it had been gone through. Excuse me. I learned that she was noting these things from Josh. Steve later wrote January 11th, 2003, journal entry. He called and said it appeared that someone was going through her laundry. She didn't like that, so she wanted to keep her hamper out of sight of the other boys. Now, there was Josh, Steve, father, and Michael, brother, Josh's brother, living in the home. And I think there was only one sister living in the house at this time. She wanted to keep the hamper out of the sight of the boys, the fox in the hen house, as they say. Okay, maybe there wasn't any girls there at the time. He even used a small mirror to spy on her when she used the bathroom. I know some people worry that I am strange or even sick for collecting articles of Susan's lingerie, but try this one out for size. I just went to Susan's drawer and sniffed a small wad of hair, took from her hairbrush. This is how insane he is. Steve collected Susan's soiled hygiene products from the trash can. Yeah, in case y'all don't know what that means, tampons or pads. He would put them in little plastic baggies marked with a date. His journals revealed, and he recognized this behavior as abhorrent. I can't say that word. I can't say it. Whatever. It's appalling. I'll say that. And he knew it was wrong. What I've written about Susan represents the first time I've mentioned fetishes and what might be considered psychopathic. I mean, who looks underneath the bathroom door with a mirror? I tend to think a lot of guys do. I tend to think not. Look at all of this stuff is Susan's. All of this stuff is Susan's. Who does that? Let's see. The conduct continued even after Josh and Susan moved into their own apartment. During visits, Steve would swipe Susan's childhood journals, took them home, and created digital copies. He dared to read her adult journal on numerous occasions, but was discouraged to learn Susan did not write about him. I'm almost a footnote, Steve wrote in one journal entry. And with all the other negative comments about me, she doesn't mention a word about my sexual proclivities, which include taking video clips from her head to foot. He is a wackadoo. I'm so madly in love with Susan that I would do something desperate to have her. Keep that in mind. Let me see. Steve frequently wrote, okay, we know what he would write about. Okay, let's see. So this is Steve right here. Let's see. Let's see what this video says.
I just had what is probably the most erotic experience I've had in my entire life. I just hate to say it. I mean, of course, I haven't had that many experiences, but Susan has been feeling ill. She's got a cold. And I offered to rub her feet, to rub her toes, to give her some stimulation. I probably rubbed her feet, her toes. They're beautiful feet. She has such pretty feet. Of course, everything about her is pretty beautiful. And I know she felt it. I mean, I know she couldn't have missed it. She's not naive either. I know it from what I've read in her.
I want to say, too, Josh's childhood was awful. And Steve, as a father, was awful. He would not let her practice her religion in the house. He talked negatively about the mother all the time. And he also had an extremely unhealthy relationship with at least one of his daughters. And he did have pictures of one of his daughters.
Journals. That girl was not naive. When I started massaging her legs, I would have loved to go all the way up her legs, but I did do her calves.
Okay. I can only take some for one day. No. Don't be creepy. He's dead now, so watch out for the little, weirdos. Confession and rejection. So this is kind of where things come to a head between Steve and Susan as far as her being like, okay, I'm kind of seeing some things, but he flat out just kind of tells her. Let's see. I'm trying to see. Here we go. Okay. Josh and Susan traveled to a trucking firm in Kent, Washington. Josh, interested in obtaining a commercial driver's license, was receiving instruction from the company. Steve drove the trucking company as well, Steve drove to the trucking company as well, bringing his camcorder. At one point, Josh practiced driving a semi. Steve offered to give Susan a ride to her parents' house in South Hill. She agreed and sat down in the passenger seat of his minivan. I don't know where you're going with this. Excuse me. Steve placed his camcorder in a bag but failed to stop the recording. He drove south on Washington State Route 167. The picture of the tape was black, but the microphone captured the conversation. Susan turned about the motion for the possibility of a move for Washington. Steve couldn't take that. He fumbled to express his feelings. Just having you go away is really, really hard for me because it just seems like, anyway, I'm probably wrong, but I really have fallen in love with you. Silence hung in the air. Susan, who was 21 years old, Susan, who was 21 years old to Steve's 53, was trapped in the minivan. She tried to change this topic. Steve wouldn't allow it. Maybe I've gotten the wrong impression from you because, well, I guess what I was wanting to really know, because I'm going crazy and you're leaving, just, I can't think of anything else other than you, Steve said. And then Susan replies, I don't know where you're going with this. Okay, so we're going to go on to the next one. Let's see. So there's that. Now, she tells Josh, and guess what? It's Susan's fault because Susan accepted a back massage that was offered to her, and years prior he had touched her shaven leg. It was something about she got some new leg product for shaving or something. Anyways, but Josh did nothing about his creepy wackadoo dad, and that's it. He pretty much blamed Susan, like pretty much she asked for it. So there's that. Now, faith and finances. I can kind of sum this one up. She did everything. He did nothing. He threw them into debt. He would run up credit card bills, loans, all these things on. Well, I do want to click on this because I want, maybe they will have the video. At some point, she talked to an attorney and he told her to document everything you have. And that's what she did. She journaled everything. And you'll find, too, there's a lot of journaling. This is probably one of the biggest or the most high-profile case that's got so much documented. So much documented. Let's see. We'll send money if I can use not. I can't read this. I thought I could read it, but it's not. I can barely read it. Susan describes Josh as her internal companion in November 2008 letter describing her unhappiness. Wait a minute. Internal companion. Describing her unhappiness with his falling away from the church of Christ. So yes, Josh started to completely back off. She remained committed both to her faith and to her marriage vows. Susan believed Josh was an eternal companion. Josh took advantage of his wife's devotion and exerted a tight-fisted control over the family's finances. He became furious at any time Susan spent more than she should on necessities, including food, herself, or her 2 young sons. She dealt with it by growing a garden. Josh would not even spend gifts for Susan. He gave her a cheap whiteboard calendar for her birthday. And in October 2008, she unwrapped the gift and noticed it was damaged. The lining was white discolored and yellow parts. Oh, I can see it right here. And it's broke. What a great birthday gift. What happened too? Oh, yeah, one birthday too. He did make her a cake, but he didn't ice it, and he left it a mess. And when she got home from work, he was like, you can ice the cake now. Like, he was insufferable, dude. He was a really bad dad. On one occasion, Susan's father Susan saw a counselor and encouraged Josh to join her in an offer he most often refused. One occasion, Susan's father, Chuck Cox, attended a session. A counselor observed Susan being abused. Chuck told his daughter he agreed. Let's see. And this is her dad, which God bless these parents. They have just fought such a good fight for her and them babies.
I was there, was able to attend one of the sessions with her counselor. She had her session, and then afterwards I went and talked with her counselor. We reviewed what they'd said. And she said, well, yeah, you are abused.
Hey, Pope
I
Gal.
said, Dad, is that right? I said, yes, it is. I believe so. And she's right on. Well, what should you do? And she had always suggested that she have a separate account where she has some money stashed away and some
And
stuff
that's what
just
she
in case
did.
she needed to leave. And so it was clear that she was being abused emotionally and verbally.
And she definitely was. Hey, Pope Gal, yeah, I did see that where Larry Millette has been missing and that the aunt and uncle's house got searched, but I don't know if anything come of it. Susan's parents bought a cell phone in case she ever needed to make a quick escape. They paid the monthly bill to prevent Josh from seeing who called and texted her. Susan's opened up to neighbors, relatives, and even an occasional stranger about her troubles. And I'm trying to go as fast as I can. Y'all have no clue how much is in this case, but she told everybody. And she also, you know, a lot of good women say this, something happens to me, look this way. Susan also gave these kind of disclaimers. Let me see if there's anything else down here. I was trying to look for a video that she took of all their assets just to kind of show you what kind of a crazy person he was and how he did just take all of their damn money. But he had like all these computers and all this stuff. Okay, so the day Susan goes missing, she has a friend over to help her do some crocheting. I think I can pretty much sum this up. Okay, we'll just read this. Debbie Caldwell, the family daycare provider, sounded the alarm that morning when the boys, Charlie and Braden, failed to arrive at their home. Police learned neither Josh nor Susan had showed up for their shifts at work. Calls to both of their cell phones went straight to voicemail. Officers feared that the whole family might have overcame carbon monoxide poisoning. They broke a window to gain access to the home. The house, quiet cul-de-sac called Sarah's Circle, was empty. There was no sign of a struggle, but officers noted the family minivan was missing from the garage. And when Ellis walked through the house, he found Susan's purse sitting in the bedroom. Does it say anything? I don't see right here, but oh, here it is. Yeah. Her wallet's there, her ID's there, her keys are there. You could tell there's no credit cards missing or anything like that. No cash missing. She had jewelry in the bathroom and in the bedroom. None that appeared to be missing. In the living room, Ellis noticed 2 box fans blowing air at a damp spot on the couch. It appeared as though the couch had been recently cleaned, because it had. So, this is what happened. I'm just kind of, so that way we can, this story is so big. Day before she went missing, her friend comes over. She wanted her to help her crochet. Now, mind you, Josh never in the past has done anything domestic, nothing at all. He all of a sudden offers, hey, why don't I make y'all some pancakes? Okay, so they're crocheting. He makes the pancakes individually. It's not a pancake here, pancake there. No, he makes everybody's plates individually. He delivers them individually. Within an hour after eating the food, Susan becomes extremely tired and sick. She goes to lay down. Josh then rushes her little friend off. Him and the boys get in the vehicle and they leave. Now, fast forward, box fans on the floor the very next day. Let's see. Josh returned with the boys. Okay, yeah. So they finally get a hold of Josh and he's like, oh, you know, we're on the Pony Express, or I'm by the Pony Express, blah, blah, blah. But he's full of shit because they eventually find, you know, phone pingings. He returns. Josh returns with the boys. She'd come as a relief. There was a problem, though. Susan was still missing. Josh said he had no idea where she was. In fact, he told his sister she's at work. Ellis asked Josh to accompany him. Anybody that knows this story, if I'm missing something, please feel free to put it in the chat as I go along, because those familiar know this case has got so many moving parts, and I'll not be able to cover it all today. Ellis asked Josh to accompany him to the department's West Side substation for an interview that evening. Look at the poor, pitiful crybaby. Let's see what this video says.
Okay, it's 19:15 hours on the 7th of December, 2009. I'm with Josh Powell in regards to his missing wife, Susan Powell.
This is from Deseret
Okay,
News.
explain to me. Again, yesterday's event. So explain to me how yesterday went. Do you know where Susan's at? No?
No.
When's the last time you seen her?
Probably about midnight of last night.
That's his kids in the background.
At home.
You'll find too, he uses these kids as crutches. Like he can't possibly answer a question because he's piddling with the kids, or no, I can't do that right now because I have to get back over here to the kids. You'll see a lot of that. And you know, he doesn't give a shit about these kids at all. And I firmly believe he was sexually abusing the kids the whole time. I personally believe that.
What was she doing? What was she wearing? Where was she at in the house?
She was wearing just wearing something comfortable.
What is some?
I was too busy preparing the poison pancakes. I couldn't pay attention to what she was wearing.
Comfortable.
Just a crappy old shirt. I mean, I don't know specifically, but you know, when we're at home, we tend to wear just shirts that we don't mind doing work in.
Okay. So an old shirt. What color?
Does a lot of throat clearing. A lot of pausing.
What else was she wearing?
Remember.
Besides the old shirt.
Well, she was wearing socks and seems like some kind of sweatpants.
What color were the sweatpants?
I don't know.
God, why are you making me do stuff? You're making me do stuff. He's super unlikable. Ellis pressed Josh for more details about the camping trip. Josh said he left his home between 12:30 and 2 a.m. that morning, driving his minivan down the Pony Express Trail. How far down the Pony Express did you go? Not very far. Maybe 20 miles. I don't know. Josh said he pulled off the south side of the dirt road and made camp about 4 a.m. He slept until about 7 a.m. Then he woke up, started a fire, making s'mores. Now, do y'all have it? Y'all know how cold it is. I'm not even going out after 10 p.m. for any reason, just about. More than, I mean, much less with a 2 and 4-year-old. Then he says, you know, and then he made some s'mores. He got up and did a fire. And then he says he realizes it's Monday, not Sunday, and that he had missed work. Golly gee, like the stories this idiot comes up with are so unbelievable. Let's see. Instead of rushing home to beg for forgiveness, he wandered all over the place with the boys. He drove further out the Pony Express to that campground and turned around. When that got old, he drove back. Let's see. So, yeah, this is what he did. He just made a big old loop for nothing. Recreating the route. Josh's story seemed poor alibi. After all, what father takes his 2 and 4-year-old children out of bed at 2 a.m. to go camping in sub-freezing cold? Surely Susan would have protested. In order to test the timeline provided by Josh, attempted to recreate this trip. Let's see. Yeah, we don't need to know all that. Let's see. The cold wind hurled. Oh. The trip proved that Josh's timeline did work. Okay. The car wash. Yes, he also had his car washed. He went and cleaned the car really well. Let's see. So here's the deal with the car. The minivan, they wanted to get the minivan. They searched the minivan. Everything is great. Josh is waiting to get the minivan. They're trying to get the paperwork and everything done. Well, in the meantime, they put a tracking device underneath the minivan so they can track Josh when he leaves the police station. Guess what? He leaves the police station without his minivan. He goes to the airport and he rents a damn rental vehicle, which has an extra 800 miles put on it. They have no clue, what was done in it. The minivan packed with supply. Yes, no tent either. He had all this shit, but no tent. Shovel, rake, broom, electrical, circular saw, folding hand saw, box cutters, gas powered generator, plastic gas can, space heaters, humidifier, tarp, sled, fire extinguisher, and more. But no tent. No tent. Just ridiculous amounts of unopened camping equipment that you would find at Walmart or Kmart. So here is what he had. Let me hop back over here to y'all. Let me see what y'all are saying. God, I know, right, Kara? Yeah. So, all right. Hey, Christola, I think I seen you in there. Anybody I didn't say hi to? Hello? I can't see the chat right now. Okay. So, no Susan. I want to get to the boys' interviews, the son's interviews, because he is crap. Let's see. Find Susan. Let's see. Oh, hold on. I just did that, didn't I? All right. That's Josh Powell. Looking like a whole idiot. During the nearly 4-hour-long talk, Josh told Ellis about his overnight trip to Utah, West Desert. He described taking his boys, Charlie and Braden, out their minivan between 1 and 2 a.m. All right, let's see. Josh repeatedly expressed concerns that he might need a lawyer. Ellis assured Josh that he was free to leave at any time. In the beginning, no, I don't care. Ellis said during the interview for Cold years later, you willingly came in. At this point, you're not going to put handcuffs on you. We're not taking you to jail. Let's see. Well, okay, but I want to turn you because, okay. I'm trying to get to the part to where it talks about his sons. And also, that's what you're about to see now. They said that he had some defensive wounds. I mean, maybe a couple little things. You've implied that my hands have some kind of defensive wounds on them just because they're simply cut up. Let's see. Maxwell Gamut. Okay. Here is the big one. While Josh and Ellis were speaking, another detective had Josh's boys, Charlie and Braden, at the South Valley Children's Justice Center. During a forensic interview, Charlie told Detective Kim Watley that his mother had gone camping with them, but stayed behind in the place with the flowers and pretty crystals. This come from his own son. Ellis, learning of this, decided to confront Josh with the information. It was a gamble, as he had no way of knowing whether or not Charlie's account was reliable. Because he also, Charlie, being a child, I think he also talks about going up in an airplane. And he talks about all kind of other ludicrous things because that's what kids do. And these kids were heavily brainwashed from religion, from their grandma, against Susan's parents, against, they were brainwashed. They had these kids doing all kind of weird shit, sleeping nude in the same bed with their dad. And then you'll find out here before too long just why, it's bad. Let's see.
I just spoke with some of our other detectives. And you're going to have to wait
Hey,
with
AP.
us. You're not going to go anywhere. One of our detectives just interviewed your children. And your children are telling our detectives that Mom went with you guys last night.
Did she ever get an
And she didn't come
injunction?
She did not go
Who,
with us.
Kara?
Well, with that, just getting that information, you're not going to go anywhere. I'm not going to let you leave. I'm going to detain you. You sit right here. If you want a lawyer and you want to talk, or you want to change your mind and talk, or take.
Look at him. He's like, What they talked. My kids actually said something. Yeah, that was their mom. What did you think? Okay, so I've already told y'all this about the cars. So let's see. A team of West Valley City detectives and forensic specialists headed to Powell family home on Sarah Circle. Police seized computers, hard drives, cameras. They took vacuum cleaner, a rug doctor, which Josh said he used to clean his couch 2 nights prior. They sprayed a product called Blue Forensic on the couch, and there you go. They did find little specks of Susan's blood here, there. They never charged him. Let's see. I would describe it as you lean over, left a cough or sneeze of some sort in a blood nasal cavity or throat and mouth. See, here's all the little blood splatters. So, not a lot. Okay, I've told y'all about the minivan situation. Let's see. Josh waited, for several hours. Police records reveal that Josh left without explanation at 9:30 p.m. 10 minutes later, about 9:40, Maxwell walked into the lobby of the police station to return Josh's keys. Josh slipped the snare. Okay. So, I'm going to move on from this. I'm trying to go. I could just tell y'all the end of it. Let's see. The wire, Scaring Desert. Yeah, holy shit, guys. We're going to be here forever. Okay. Long story short, Josh's dad is a pedophile. The kids and Josh moving with his father. In the meantime, all this is going on with Suzanne. She's still missing. There is a massive, his family erupts with this. She ran away. She was sexually repressed. All this jargon. So they're telling the media this. Meanwhile, her family's like, no. Then they fight back. So they go and talk to Josh's dad because the sister, there's 2 sisters of the Powells. One is super supportive of Josh and Steve and all their weirdness, and Michael and his weirdness. And then there's the other sister, Jennifer, which was very, very close with Suzanne. So they go and they search the residence because Jennifer tells them about the unhealthy relationship between Steve and Susan. Well, the way Steve views Susan. They go to talk to Steve. They go to take hard drives and computers. They search his house. They find pictures of the neighbor kids that he's been taking through their windows, their bathroom windows, strangers at the park, you name it. He's been taking pictures of it. In addition to all this creepy stuff with Suzanne, and also photos of his own daughter when she was a teenager. So he gets arrested. Now, with him being arrested, they say the kids cannot be in the same house. Josh has to get his own place. Now, in the meantime, Josh is in a custody battle between Susan's parents and Josh. It's like one hand never shakes the other. At some point, they decide that the kids were loud at the place where the supervised visits were being taken place with Josh. So this judge decides, now CPS, there's so many entities that failed these boys. CPS decides that, okay, we'll do the visits at Josh's house. He goes and rents a house. We'll do the visits, the supervised visits with the CPS worker, or they call it something else. We'll do the supervised visits there in his own house. Okay? No overnight visits or nothing. Now, in the meantime, some cartoon, and let me say this too, all the hard drives and computers they took from Josh, some of them the FBI couldn't even get into because they were so heavily encrypted. But some of the ones that they were able to uncover were cartoon characters of children and adults doing things. So, with that being said, now Josh has to take a it's pretty much a polygraph, but for sexual perversion. That might even be what it's called. I don't know the exact term, but and it just asks you questions specific about how you feel about kids, how you feel about your sex. It just asks you all these things. He knew the walls were closing in on him. He knew he had this coming up. So they go to court. They tell him that he cannot get the kids back, so they still implementing the supervised visits. 4 days after he loses in court, he goes to court on a Wednesday. Here comes Sunday, February 5th, I believe it is. I think it's February 5th. It was that same day as the Super Bowl, Sunday. The CPS worker, she comes and she brings, she goes and brings the boys to the house. She's walking in. She goes to walk in. The boys take off running. Josh sees her. He locks eyes with her, and he slams the door in her face. The 2- and 4-year-old boys are already inside the house. She hears, and she's banging, "Let me in, let me in." She hears Josh tell the boys, or she tells Josh, hears him tell Charlie, say, "Charlie, I got you a big surprise." And she smells gas. Then she calls the police. The 911 dispatcher was just a total nut. He completely dropped the ball. It was awful. It took forever. But Josh blew the house up. He blew him and his 2 children up in that home. Just this past year, let me get back here to y'all. Just this past year, the Cox family, Susan's mother and father, they finally get somewhat of some justice. They sued the shit out of the state, not the worker that was there, because it wasn't her fault. She was really just doing her job. She really was just doing her job. But yeah, they got a crap ton of money. Now, they're appealing it. The state is appealing it for whatever reason. I don't know. It's so stupid. So I do want to read this one article, another article. Now, and there's a couple little side notes too. Michael Powell, Josh's brother. Now, I will say this. Michael Powell's dead from a suicide. He plunged off the top of a building. I think his brother killed Susan. I think Josh killed Susan. I think he poisoned her that day. I think he killed her. And I think he got panicky and he enlisted his brother to help get rid of the body. Because there's a car that him and his sister, Michael Powell, and his sister, Alina Powell, no, don't quote me, but it was him, and it was maybe it was his wife. It was either his wife or his sister. But they have a car towed like some 90 miles away from where they live. They have people pleading with them, why, blah, blah, blah. Why so far? I don't care. This is where I want it. They found a little bit in the car. They had like some hair, I think they did find in the car or whatever, but they never got a chance to question Michael about it or anything because he took his own life very soon after he found out the police had finally located this car that they thought had been destroyed. They did not destroy the car. But it doesn't matter. Steve Cox died in prison of cancer. Josh eliminated himself and these babies. And Susan, I believe she's been dead. I believe she died that night. So let me just look at these pictures. Just want to show y'all. That's her parents. Oh, this is her friend, her best friend. So I wanted to read this article to y'all. And then we can move on to our other stuff. And there's so much that it's just so much. It's too much. It's way much. It's confirmed Josh Powell is a murderer, but not of the person he has long been suspected of killing. In a tragic turn of events, the disappearance of the case, Susan Cox Powell, Sunday afternoon, Powell burned down his Walpi, Washington home with his boys Charlie and Braden inside, killing all 3. Authorities say it appears that the events were premeditated and that Powell used some kind of accelerant to destroy the house on purpose. Josh Powell was a person of interest in his wife's disappearance. And he had recently lost a court battle to regain custody of his 2 boys after a judge ruled he undergo a psychosexual evaluation and a polygraph test first. I think he knew then the wheels were coming off. Because I think the abuse has been going on with the Powells for generations, at least with Steve and the kids. Jeffrey Bassett, Powell's attorney, reported that he received a tar suicide note from his client minutes before the house went up in flames and read simply, "I'm sorry, goodbye." And he did this with a couple other people too. The day after, there were so many questions to be answered, especially regarding what might have been done better to protect the Powell boys. There is some hope that Powell provided answers in emails and alleged voice messages that he sent to Washington authorities prior to the murder-suicide. But in a press conference today, Pierce County police authorities indicated that these messages were not very revealing. Additionally, Stephen Powell, Josh Powell's incarcerated father, may have some answers, though since entering the county jail, he is kept relatively quiet. Authorities noted Sunday that he was on suicide watch. If these sources don't pan out, it could be a long time before we get enough pieces or puzzles to assemble the paint clear picture of what happened. While Sunday's tragic events bring more questions, some could key together the whole puzzle. Why did Josh Powell kill his children? This is a question on everybody's mind and may be most important to the whole case. The children started talking to their grandparents about what happened the night their mother vanished. They were beginning to verbalize more. Let's see. The oldest boy talked about what they talked about, that they went camping and that mommy was in the trunk. He told a teacher that. Mom and Dad got out of the car and Mom disappeared. The Deseret News, Pat Reevey, also reported at Powell's hearing Wednesday when he was ordered to undergo a psychosexual evaluation. The West Valley City Police indicated images were found on Josh Powell's computer that, according to court documents, specifically related to their children's welfare. Did this evidence back Powell into a corner and he felt inescapable? I believe so. I believe he felt like these children were not children, that they were witnesses, and I think he wanted to eliminate them. This says, why by fire? Further consideration might lead one to believe that the motive was even less intuitive than the fear of being discovered or even fear of his children's lives. The same JAAPL study experts say large majority, 73% of parents kill their children by shooting, including 70% of mothers and 75% of fathers. Other methods sometimes used to combination include beating, drowning a car, suffocation, stabbing, arson and carbon monoxide poisoning. 3%. Only 3% of filicide suicide by arson have been served for another purpose. So what do y'all think about that? What do y'all think about that? What does it say about him that he would kill his own kids in such a manner? Let me get back to y'all. Okay. Oh, that was a lot. And I didn't even barely scratch the surface of all the stuff that this case had going on with it. And I do believe that some of the money that they did get awarded, the grandparents, I think they go to funds for the boys, and they're like, you know how they do that sometimes for like future victims. But so this is somewhat a loose tale of what happened to Miss Susan and her babies. Yeah, he was nuts. He was completely nuts. And I think the judge, you know what they said too, as far as like not charging Joshua Powell, you know what they said too? They said, we wait 1 year without a body, then we'll charge him. They wanted that body. Josh also said that he was obsessed with true crime too. Him and Susan too. They both love true crime. They watch true crime shows together all the time. And he would tell people the perfect way to get away with somebody's murder is to put them in a mine shaft. Because it's not even safe to search them. So it's just awful. I think he used what he had because he knew he would be limited. I mean, maybe that it does to me say something about him catching them on fire. There's only 3% of, if people are going to do it. A lot of times they do just to, but Chris Watts, strangulation, that's pretty tough. I mean, you feel them dying in your hands. But before the explosion, he hit them. He tried to knock them unconscious. So the social worker says that she heard one of the boys crying, but they say now that it was probably the other boy seeing his sibling get injured is why he was crying. And then the crying stopped. This is one of the most sickening and maddening cases. It is because, and there's too much fault to go around. I mean, there's a couple judges. I mean, there's a lot wrong. You're right, Cement. I mean, it's really bad. Hey, Sean. Hey, Cement. It's really bad. It's awful. Okay. So that is the crazy case of Susan Powell. So do y'all remember last week why we even talked about Susan Powell? Because we got the Larry Mallets situation going on. And in Maya Mallette, Larry Mallette, I feel like the walls are closing in on Mr. Larry too. And I haven't seen confirmation that he's missing, but I have heard that they're looking for him. You had the gunshots. You have all this circumstantial evidence. The brother-in-law came out, or her brother come out and said he's lost all faith in the police department. I think this happened over the weekend. They executed a search over the weekend, but there's no confirmation, but there's little grumblings that it was an aunt and an uncle's home that they searched. So I don't know. But let's move on to these other ones because this took up a little bit of time, which is fine. And we're going to talk about this one. Kayra sent it to me earlier. Let me see here. Okay. It is pure evil. Okay. Guys, I could literally just fall asleep like sitting here. Them little caffeines, they got me. I'm hooked, man. Let's just watch the video. I'm kind of sick of reading. Is that okay with y'all? Just going to watch this video.
A desperate plea for help from the mother of a young mom who disappeared while on vacation right here in South Florida. Her daughter vanished while waiting in line for a boat ride at Bayside.
Her boyfriend and their 2 children have been searching for her ever since. Local 10's Alex Finney is live with the family's plea for help.
What police we know are knee-deep in this investigation. What we heard during this press conference just a little bit earlier, everyone pretty much agrees here that it's so unlike a 23-year-old Angela Morrissey to just go missing and not contact family. Like you said there, it's been almost 2 weeks, and they are hoping and praying for her safe return. Surveillance video showing 23-year-old Angela Morrissey at a gas station off West Okeechobee Road in Hialeah. This the day after she was reported missing and possibly one of the last known sightings. Miami police this afternoon giving us a more clear timeline.
After she was last with the people that she met at Bayside, she was seen at a gas station where, again, she did not appear to be in distress or in any type of imminent danger.
But this is still a priority. Police telling us she was seen with these same 2 people at Bayside the day before. That's also where her cell phone was found. Morrissey's mother flew in from California this week, pleading for her daughter's safe return.
My daughter has now been missing almost 2 weeks.
The 23-year-old went missing around 8 p.m. at Bayside Marketplace on March 28th. She was in from California with her boyfriend. He says they were waiting to board a tour boat. She went to use the bathroom and then never returned. Missing persons flyers went up, and police immediately scoured all areas where she was last seen.
Angela, I love you. I have come to Miami to find you and to get you back home with us and home to Yazzie, home to Lonnie.
And you just heard her mother there speaking of her 2 children, the 2 children that she shares with her boyfriend. We have been covering this story extensively. Make sure you go to our website, local10.com. In the meantime, we do know that Miami Police working very closely in tandem with the Hialeah Police Department. If you have any information, make sure you give Miami Police a call.
Okay, so let me get back here to y'all. So what do y'all think about this? Kara says your neighbor. Oh my God, I know. Kara and her neighbor. So crazy. So this is out of Miami. Thank you, Kara, for sending that to me. Let's see. And I did have something else I had it pulled up last week and I forgot. I just kind of, I probably could even hold off on it. It's not like a, let's see. Let's just do this one. I'll show that one at the end if we have time. Okay. Did y'all see this one? Oh, I'm so tired. I could just fall out. Did y'all see this? Parents and grandparents locked up 3 children in an attic for several years, used belts, bats, mallets, and a cat to torture and starve them. Let's see. Is this a video? I could totally do another video. Ooh, my eye's burning. Police have filed a shocking array of child abuse-related charges against 3 adults in the eastern Pennsylvania coal region. Authorities say the children involved were imprisoned in the attic of an unassuming mid-sized home adjacent to a large local skate park. There, they were regularly beaten and kept all but powerless through strict regimen of starvation, violence, and fear. Neighbors were clueless. Let's see. Come on. Locked up and alone, 2 boys aged 11 and 12, and their 9-year-old girl, and one 9-year-old girl tortured by their parents and a step-grandparent for several years. So, do y'all remember last week when we was talking about Adrian and Adrian's Law? This is exactly where Adrian's Law would come in, but they were taking part in the torture too. So, I can barely wrap my mind around one parent beating a child, but for it to be a family affair, oh my God. By their parents and step-grandparent for several years, according to Minersville Police Department. Until early March, the oldest boy escaped. Praise God. A woman spotted the escapee. She noticed his bruises and look of desperation. A quick 911 call later, and the children were removed from the home. Unfortunately, fortunately, one of our residents saw this young man pacing around back and forth, and although she's used to seeing children running around the streets, this child looked like he was in distress, and she asked him, "Hey, buddy, do you need some help?" Authorities say in their investigations turn up several grim details. The children appear to have been beaten with hands and implements. The adults allegedly used belts, bats, mallets, poked them with forks, push the children down the stairs, and would even go so far as to agitate the house cat and then place it on one of the children's stomachs in order to scratch and wound them. Oh my God. Wait a minute. Yost. What? Because I've already read it. I was like, why does that last name look familiar? Because I've already read this the other day. On Thursday, Jennifer Yost, 27, her boyfriend, Matthew Richter, 32, and her mother, Wendy Yost, 51, were arraigned in Schuylkill County, 6 to 8 charges apiece, including aggravated assault, simple assault, reckless endangerment of another person, unlawful restraint, false imprisonment, endangering the welfare of children, and harassment. Each of the women who are charged with this strangulation, the eldest, Yost, not being charged for unlawful restraint. Jennifer Yost faces 37 separate counts, according to the court records reviewed by Law and Crime. Richter faces 25 counts. Wendy Yost faces 21 counts. All 3 defendants are due in additional court proceedings on April 13th, which is tomorrow. Magistrate District Judge David Planko called the allegations against the trio the most serious, disturbing, heart-wrenching that he has seen in 3 decades. There is no monetary amount or anything other than imprisonment that will ensure safety of victims, the judge said as he denied bail. The safety of all victims is paramount. Whew. Guys, I'm going to be real honest. Let me get back here, y'all. I'm going to be real honest. I've been telling my husband for like 2 days. I'm like, no, I don't think you understand. Like, there's like it's like there's more crazy cases happening, more ways to kill your children, more ways to get involved in fuckery. It's almost like it's a possession or something. Like, What in the actual hell is going on with these people? You got women putting babies in stinking ice, cutting off the limbs, strangling their child and girls, and then walking to a police station with a mask on saying, hey, I had to stop the abuse, even if it meant eliminating them. Bitch, you're the one killing, you're the one beating them. Like, it's getting, I can't even make this stuff up. I'm talking about one of our channel subscribers, Sapito. She reached out to me, and hopefully by Friday we'll get the parents on here. But this is where their daughter was killed, from somebody in our government, and he's still getting paid. And this happened over a year ago. I mean, these and their seniors dead. Their seniors dead. No graduation. Because, man, it's some bad shit going on. It sounds VC Andrews. Oh my God, Cement. I used to read that. I used to read her all the time. Hey, it is Stacy. Hey, everybody. Chatter. So let's move on with this next one. Y'all probably have seen this one too. Yeah, I mean, it's some real weird, man. I hope y'all got your home in order. I'm trying to get my home in order. Because there's some really weird crap going on. I mean, guys, I don't even have words for it. Here's another one. Just completely rip your stinking heart out. Reseda mother suspected of stabbing ages 3 to 6 months to death. Okay. Let me just watch this video. Sick of reading. The ad will be over in just a second. But yeah, y'all just, man, hug your babies and stuff, I don't know, man. It's some really weird stuff going on, man. People are really losing it.
I was very sick, and she was not herself. And it's been going on for several months that she has been unwell.
What is this?
And he's been actively doing everything possible through the, Child Protective Services, through the LAPD, to 1, get Liliana help, and 2, get his children safely home, because she left with the kids at the end of February. So he actually had emergency custody orders of the children since March 4th.
Wow.
The emotion, of course, very raw there. Now, the 3 young children found stabbed yesterday. Later on, there was some indication that perhaps that's not how they died, but they were found in a Reseda apartment. That horrific discovery was made by the children's grandmother at 9:30 in the morning. The scene caused authorities to initiate a search, which resulted in their mother's arrest. Her name, 30-year-old Liliana Carrillo. Law enforcement said that she carjacked a vehicle in the Bakersfield area. She's the sole suspect in the case. A GoFundMe has been set up for the family. Now, keep in mind, the victims so very young, so very tragic. Their names right now. Court records show them to be Joanna, age 3, Terry, age 2, Sierra, just a baby, just 6 months. And then coming back live here again, I was able to get access to some court records out of Tulare County. It shows, and we're going to show it to you right here on the screen, the dad, Eric Denton, of course, he lives in the Porterville area, and he was seeking custody of his children. If you look at that document, it'll show you there on the document that there was a pending court custody coming up April 14th. That would have been Wednesday at 1:30, and it simply said child custody and visitation. Of course, all we can wonder today, one day after that horrific discovery, is if it could have saved the lives of those children.
Wow.
Laura Diaz reporting live from Miss.
My God, y'all. It didn't even share the damn screen. Did y'all hear it though? Well, y'all heard it. I'm sorry. Do y'all want to rewatch it? Let me see. I'll at least go. That's awful, because it's just awful. I don't have to say why. Y'all didn't see this? Hold on.
Sita, now back to the studio.
And she was not herself. And it's been going on for several months that she has been unwell. And he's been actively doing everything possible through the, Child Protective Services, through the LAPD to, one, get Liliana help, and two, get his children safely home, because she left with
Oh
the
yeah,
kids
y'all
at the
get
end of
them likes
February.
up, please.
So he actually had emergency custody orders of the children since March 4th.
The emotion, of course, very raw there. Now, the 3 young
What is
children found
happening with
stabbed
people?
yesterday. Later on, there was some indication that perhaps that's not how they died, but they were found in a Reseda apartment. That horrific discovery was made by the children's grandmother at 9:30 in the morning. The scene caused authorities to initiate a search, which resulted in their mother's arrest. Her name, 30-year-old Liliana Carrillo. Law enforcement said that she carjacked a vehicle in the Bakersfield area. She's the sole suspect in the case. A GoFundMe has been set up for the family. Now, keep in mind, the victims so very young, so very tragic. Their names right now. Court records show them to be Joanna, age 3, Terry, age 2, Sierra, just a baby,
Kathy.
just 6 months. And then coming back live here again.
I know.
I was able to get access to some court records out of Tulare County. It shows, and we're going to show it to you right here on the screen, the dad, Eric Denton, of course, he lives in the Porterville area, and he was seeking custody of his children. If you look at that document,
So sad.
It'll show you there on the document that there was a pending court custody coming up April 14th. That would have been Wednesday at 1:30, and it simply said child custody and visitation. Of course, all we can wonder today, one day after that horrific discovery, is if it could have saved the lives of those children.
Man, I'm sorry I didn't get to see it the first time. I don't know. I didn't realize it wasn't sharing. I mean, people are really losing it. You can't blame this on the pandemic. I mean, yeah, you can, but jeez, guys, I'm telling you, I'm at a loss. I don't know what the hell's going on, and it's all across the board. In some more, what in the total news? Let me show you this one. I don't know if y'all seen the description box. People are going crazy. I can't even make this shit up. I cannot even make this shit up. Heck, hold on. I sure hope I have it. Hold on, let me pull it up because I don't think it. Let me see. Y'all can't see it. Okay, yeah, I got it. Hold on, let me share the screen. Guys, y'all gonna fall out when y'all see this one. Y'all are gonna fall out. Multiple police department confirm. What did that say? I don't know. My favorite journalist in Nashville, Mr. Nick Barris, he posts, really, an Elmo Doll. Reports a Michigan home inspector was arrested after he was caught on camera using an Elmo doll to pleasure himself inside someone else's home. He was inspecting the home in Oxford Township for a couple who was selling their home. The couple told investigators he and the buyer's real estate agent were led into the home for inspection. A female homeowner got an alert on her phone that there was movement in the nursery. When she opened the nursery monitor app, she said she saw the suspect in the room. She told investigators she saw him start to touch himself. I had to whisper because I just can't be yelling through the damn house. So she started recording the video. She said she saw him pick up the doll from the floor of the nursery and pleasure himself with it and then put it back on the floor. Deputies were called to the home, and the guy said he had moved the doll to look at an outlet behind it, but he was told about the camera. Deputies said he made incriminating statements and apologized. Just when I think I have seen it all, someone steps up and surprises me with a new level of disturbing actions. Boy, you could say that again. So here is Mr. I don't even wackadoo. I don't know. And you're just going to leave it. You're just going to leave your little jizz juice all over the little baby doll. And you're not even gonna, like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with these people? Like, what the crap? What in the crap is going on? I know, flipping Elmo, for crying out loud. You just gonna leave your little jizz juice all over the little babies? You don't pick it up and play with it? Like, what is wrong with people? And what would the guys from the street say? The Sesame Street say? They what is wrong with people, y'all? I'm telling you now. Let me make sure I have all of these. Hey, Gigi, people are losing it. By the way, hey, yes, they are going crazy. Hey, Robert Kim, that's not that tickle me. He says that's not what tickle me means. I know. Let me tell you something. If I would have seen this after the fact, after my kid walked back in this room and started playing with this, oh my God, I would have lost it. Now you got strange jizz juice all over my baby's hands. He's going to say, oh, I just moved it. That SOB needs Jesus, but not Jesus. He's taking call. I'm telling you, I don't know what is wrong with these people. Let me get the Elmo raper off of the screen. This is too much. This is too much. Guys, I do not. I just tell y'all about it. I don't invent the news. I just tell y'all about it. And I'm very sorry to traumatize y'all on a Monday. But it's no different than any other day of the week. Snuffleupagus isn't going. Yeah, I'm telling you right now, you better watch out. I wouldn't want to mess with half of them people on the Sesame Street. That block is hot. I wouldn't mess with half of them Muppets. Speaking of Muppets, did y'all see where Disney said that the old Muppets were too inappropriate to put on Disney? That's what I got to say about that. We do not support Disney Plus in this house. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, we don't really support it in this house. We don't have it. But even better now, since you're shitting all over, freaking the Muppets, the actual decent Disney, for crying out loud, whatever. It's not even really Disney, but I think Disney bought them or something, right? Oh my goodness. My kids would be watching reruns of the Electric Company and 3-2-1. I know, right? Mickey said your new setup is cool. I know. I'm painting my other one right now. Hopefully it'll be done tomorrow, and then by Wednesday y'all be able to see it. Let me see. I need to see. It seems like there was one more that I wanted to talk about, but I guess that is it. Yeah, I think that's it. What is this one? Let me see. Oh, this is the one. Yeah, okay. Let's read this real quick while I got y'all here, and then I will dismiss the class. Hold on one second. So I was like kind of reading over this. Y'all know we talk about anything kid related over here. All right, so let's see. Following troubled foster parent stories, lawmakers start caucus to offer support. Oh, good, it's a video. I don't have to read. What needs to be down?
Investigations into the state's troubled foster care system, lawmakers have a direct message for parents. Come see us. Our chief investigative reporter, Jeremy Finley, has been working for these parents to make sure their stories have been heard. And Jeremy, what are the lawmakers doing right now?
Well, Marius, they have formed a caucus asking foster and adoptive parents to come to them, bring their concerns directly to lawmakers to see if any legislative action could perhaps lift their burdens. Burdens are investigations found that are often created by the state itself.
It was criminal.
We brought you their stories, foster family after foster family, telling News 4 investigates the State Department of Children's Services did not share the true sexual and violent histories of children placed in their homes. resulting in trauma for the parents and
shit.
damage to their properties. But the executive director of the state's Foster Adoptive Care Association says the children are suffering too. If foster parents are blindsided and children then removed from homes, she says it means their troubled histories get longer and longer.
I know that children don't deserve to be just scary descriptions on paper.
We're struggling in Tennessee to find.
Let me tell you something. This has struck a flipping chord. I haven't even watched this yet. I'm not going to talk about why it strikes a chord, but I know for a fact this shit happens. I just seen it happen. I just seen this happen. Where you place kids in a home and you are not honest about exactly what's going on. Furthermore, do a lot of minimizing. It's unfair to all parties involved. And if the kids look scary on paper, guess what? If it's the facts and it's the truth, then it's not them being scary on paper. It's the facts and the truth. And guess what? If you don't know the full problem, you can't give a full fucking solution. I don't know why people don't understand that.
And foster parents.
I'm pissed out of nowhere,
Representative
man.
Jeremy Faison has launched a caucus that met for the first time this year.
Thank you so much,
encouraging
Sandra.
Adoptive and foster parents to tell members of the caucus
Hey, Miss Queen.
what changes are needed.
You've reported on this several times. And so I think what we can do is start shedding light on that.
With continued scrutiny on DCS following a scathing comptroller audit, Faison says he wants to focus now on the parents, many who've had to hide their identities but wanted their
I
stories
don't know what
told.
happened, y'all.
Louis Brandeis,
Oh, here we
he
go.
said sunlight is the greatest disinfectant. What if we start opening up the dialogue across Tennessee?
Yeah.
It's something that's personal for Faison. After all, he fostered a child who ultimately became his son.
And that's what I'm trying to do. Let's identify the challenges, identify the problems.
Exactly.
Through this caucus.
Exactly.
And then say, all right, we've got them identified. Now what do we do about
Let's fix them. My man.
Right, I've heard this repeatedly from foster parents. All they've wanted all this time they've told their stories to us is for people to understand what they're going through and hopefully to get lawmakers' attention. This may eventually at last solve some of those issues. So if you are a foster parent and you are wanting these lawmakers to know your story, we have put the contact information you will need on our website, WSMV.com.
I'll make
Great
sure.
reporting, Jeremy. Thank you. And also on WSMV.com, you can read all of Jeremy's coverage on this continuing series. The first time he reported on this was back in October.
Guys, I'm going to be looking at this. I'm going to go and look at this series. I just happened to see this one. Let me get back to y'all. Ooh, there's the Elmo guy again. Let me get him out of my face. I'm big pissed off about that. That really, I just watched this shit happen. I just watched them place. And they don't tell the whole story. Or they put high-risk kids in a situation with the foster parent that's never fostered, doesn't have kids of their own, doesn't know how to, be on the lookout for stuff. I mean, that happens too, They aren't, and then Maggie J, welcome, and Queen, welcome. Miss Queen, welcome. But yeah, and then it's either that extreme or the damn foster parents aren't vetted and they're beating the crap out of everybody. I mean, it's like there's no stinking balance. Like everything is just, what a mess. I pray something could save our, I know. Man, Stacy, I say don't be discouraged. Do it, because especially if you're good, I mean, we need good ones. Damn, Mom, you didn't look at my phone today. I turned a big screen now. It must be the lighting. I swear this is how I do but I think it is brighter in here. Well, I'm right by our big bay window too. So that's probably why children need intensive therapy are ignored. Yeah, exactly. I mean, and then you get somebody, oh, they're not so bad. They're not so bad. Oh, but the people that have had them for years before that, they're full of shit, right? You want me to tell you why you don't know about it or why they didn't get help? Because if they don't know the whole problem, man, I agree. I agree, Maggie. All right, guys, that's all I got for this one. I am gonna this Jeremy Finley. I'm gonna look at that whole series, and I might sit in here more often. I'm getting a lot of compliments. I guess, hi. Dude, I see every line I have. Like I could pay connect the lines, connect the age dots. I don't give a shit. Whatever. I'm gonna die anyways one day. Let's see. Do it and become an example. Yeah, Stacy. Yeah, absolutely. I encourage anybody with that. Some foster parents are terrible, and at times they're even vetted by CPS and don't care at times to be placed. Yeah, exactly. Ken Rex McElroy. Man, and I don't have nothing. Oh, well, I got all my own babies. I don't have nothing to write on. Skidmore, Missouri. Ken Rex. I don't see anything but a hotbed. Thanks, girl. I go, honey. Let me see. I don't have no papers or nothing. Oh, I got my phone. I put it in my phone. Why don't I always do that? I'll be looking for pen and paper when somebody takes a phone number or something. And all you gotta do is just put it in my phone. You would overfeed them. Then they would puke. That's what happens when you overfeed kids. They puke. Let's see. Okay. Ken Rex. I was watching a documentary today about the skeleton babies. Their last name is Skeleton. The ones, where was that at? Michigan, maybe? Ken Rex McElroy. McElroy. Let's see. Hold on, you. Okay. I think the sun's kind of come back out. Let's see. You sent it to me. It's free on Sundance, but it's on YouTube. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So, it's on Sundance. What is another one? I watched another one too. No one saw a thing. Really? Yeah, I had to check it out. There was another one I watched that I wanted y'all to check out. Oh my goodness. Have y'all seen The Serpent on Netflix? How in the hell have I never heard about this case? I've never heard anybody talking about this case. The town who saw nothing or something like that. Wow. Huh. I had to check that out. What about the lad missing from garage? Sorry, can't remember her name. Anything yet? From a garage? I don't know, Sandra. I know you asked last week, but I can't remember. The baby missing out of a garage. They probably have already been found, perhaps, maybe. How old is the baby? Let's see. OMG, I moved my phone and the channel changed. I was like, why is Bieber playing Norm McDonald's? Because I got shit to do. That's what I do. Oh, my goodness. He is funny, though. TV movie in broad daylight. Brian Dennehy in broad daylight. That does sound familiar, though. I don't know. There's a bunch of good ones on. Let's see. Yes, the skeleton babies were in Michigan. Yeah, I was just watching about them. I don't know. I don't know. I was watching. I was like, maybe he did give the kids to somebody. You was gonna watch a serpent thing last night. Well, I just finished it like 2 nights ago, because I was watching a little bit of it. Because hubby watched some of it, but after a while, he's just like, turn this shit off, because it's overwhelming, And me, I'm like this. Who's he gonna kill next, But I love true. Well, obviously, but it was crazy. I'd never seen anything like that. And it makes you think and it was what it is the premise is it's about the friend and the girlfriend went Christmas shop. You go back, check. Yeah, I don't know. It's not ringing a bell, but they don't mean nothing. I forget a lot. But, so yeah, like Bangkok and just like Thailand, like India, all these different areas, Paris, like back in the 70s. And there was hippie, I know, lame-o hubs, right? So, but these hippies, they would just like travel abroad, travel everywhere, you know? So it's like an influx of hippies everywhere. So this serpent guy, I can't think, Charles something is his name. Charles, and then he has Maria Tour, or hell, I can't remember her, Marie something. They have aliases, so I was teetering on watching that, but now I'm definitely gonna watch it. Yeah, and it jumps back and forth with the timeline, but it's easy to keep up with. So, but yeah, it's crazy. By the end of it, you're gonna be so pissed off. You're gonna be like, "What the crap?" But it's like all these people they got taken advantage of. Y'all, everybody, I want y'all to say hello to my son. This is my other son. Where's it? The camera. That's my oldest son. Let's see, baby. You hear about the school shooting in Tennessee? No. When was the school shooting in Tennessee? No, I didn't. I didn't get an alert. Let me see. No, I didn't get one. I don't know. I sure haven't. Which part of Tennessee? Let's see. Everybody say, hey, oldest son. You just sent me a link in Discord. Oh, okay. I don't think I've checked my Discord in like a month. Let me see. My whole phone's probably going to blow up now. Shit. Ask if he needs a nightlight. Let me see. Man, I got a lot of messages. I'm a loser. Let's see. Did you get this image? Oh, man. Kathy F., if you're listening to this, I'm so sorry. I suck at answering stuff. Let me see. There we go. Let me see. I don't see it. Send it to me in my Facebook or email or something, Christola. I didn't see it. Oh, it was in Knoxville. Oh, no. Thank you. You have a redheaded son, too? No, I didn't see it in Knoxville. Wow. It's in the update tab? Okay. Let me see. There you go. I'm going. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. This is how long I haven't been in my Discord. I suck. Okay, let's see. Officer among gunshot victims at Knoxville, Tennessee High School. Investigation underway into the shooting at the campus of high school. Wow. Heck. Well, I don't know why I didn't. Oh, there it is. It's coming up now. I don't know. It ain't popping up, but I mean, I seen where you got it, but it ain't let me click on it. I got it, Christola. It's just not letting me click on it. Oh, but I will pop something out about it. I wonder if there's any victims, perhaps. All right, guys. I think I'm going to be wrapping it up. It's been a good stream. Hopefully I'm back in my little space. I don't know. If it wasn't for everybody else hearing me all throughout the house, I would just move different spots. You don't have Netflix anymore? That's a bummer. I was going to get rid of Netflix, and I even said that I was going to, but I didn't because I'm a hypocrite and I'm full of shit. That's me all day. I was planning on deleting it over the cuties debacle, but I did not because I'm a lame ass. So it's okay. OMG, seriously, I think the monster that steals the socks off pacifiers is still my glass. Oh no. I like this spot, the blue rings. I know. That's what I was looking at too. But yeah. I might do it in my living room Wednesday. I don't know. I'll be bouncing around. All right, guys. I'm going to hop up off of here. And I will see y'all Wednesday. Hopefully we'll get some moving about the Maya Mallette, you know. And if I find out anything else about the shooting in Knoxville. Whoa. My whole camera just did some weird stuff. There it is. There it is. Check under bed, then check your head. Yeah. Yeah. Seems legit. All right, guys. I love y'all, and I will see y'all Wednesday. Have a good one. Bye.